We've got this from Newsweek. As Trump floats new census, how many people really live in the U.S.? Now, liberals are freaking out saying what Trump is doing is unconstitutional. It's illegal. It's not possible. It can't be done. I think, my friends, I'm going to tell you this. I have a couple conspiracy theories for you. I think there are substantially less people than they're letting on. I think that it's entirely possible the census is fake or that there's census fraud. Why? We've talked about how Democrats bring in illegal immigrants to pad the census numbers, not censorship. The more people they have in their states, the more congressional seats they get. Illegal immigrants count towards this. I don't even understand why we even made that argument. It's much, much easier for them to just claim somebody's there when they're not and no one checks. In the census, what is it? On the form, they just say how many people are in your house and they just write a number down? The number's probably fake. Newsweek writes, President Trump announced Thursday he was ordering a new U.S. census that would exclude undocumented immigrants, arguing that it's unconstitutional to count them despite courts regularly holding census must count everyone regardless of immigration status. With estimates on the undocumented population varying widely from around 11 million to as high as 20, just how big is the U.S. population? Excuse me. They say currently it's 334,914,896. The figure is broken down by native-born population at 85.7 and foreign-born population at 14.3, with nearly two-thirds of the latter having entered the U.S. before 2010. Out of 47.8 million foreign-born U.S. residents, 24.9 million were naturalized citizens. Democrats are freaking out saying Trump can't do this. We'll see if he can. But I'm curious, how many of you think the census is fraudulent?
So I think you have good reason to believe this because I do recall a story actually where I'm actually reading right now. A key House committee has begun an investigation in the Census Bureau overcount and undercounts that favor Democrats in awarding congressional appointments and electoral college votes. I believe there was issues with this in the last census where it did overcount in the Democrats' favor.
The Census Bureau admitted it publicly. And after all, I mean, I don't know why no one's ever asked the question, if you were conducting a census during the COVID lockdowns, how could that possibly be accurate? Seems like just a logistical issue there, so...
Yeah, look, even if the census were accurate, I still think that redoing the census is a perfectly good idea because of the fact that the Biden administration left the border open for 4 years and literally was welcoming people in, for any reason at all. So
yeah, I understood. I don't care if there's a reason or not. At this point, I'm like, we know that there's a problem with how we count people in this country, and we're applying political power to non-citizens. Don't do it. My attitude is just at this point when Trump says, if Trump came out and said, there's no reason, I just want to make sure that Americans are being counted properly and we're apportioning congressional seats, political power, and resources evenly, I'd say, okay. If Trump came out and said, there's crime and we're shutting it down, I'd be like, yep, because Democrats have lied and run roughshod over us for decades.
Be nice to do it before the midterms, too.
That's what's happening, baby.
You know what else?
With the Texas stuff.
On the constitutional argument, I mean, at least pre-Biden, most or at least a huge number of illegal aliens are here on visa overstays. So if you're here if you're here as a tourist, you're not counted in the visa. But then suddenly, after you overstay the 90 days, then you would be counted. I don't know if that argument even makes sense from their perspective.
It shouldn't.
Yeah, it shouldn't.
Well, I think one reason that Trump wants a new census, it's not just, I think it's a direct, it's planned, right? He says, ICE, lock everybody up. You, self-deport. I think Trump's actually saying, no, even if we count illegal immigrants, we're going to find the numbers way down. I think it's going to change the game.
If they want to redo the census, I think a key component here would be if they filled out and put "Are you a citizen?" question this time. There was legal lawsuit battles when Donald Trump tried to incorporate this during the first term. The question's super important because it either scares off people who are illegal immigrants from filling out the form altogether, or it gives information to the government of where illegal immigrants are currently staying, which would make them potential. You'd have the information to send right over to ICE to potentially detain and deport
or they don't answer and then they don't get counted.
Or they don't get counted.
So yeah.
So I think that's the important thing to consider. The last time Trump did it in his first term, and he tried to include that, there were court battles over it, and I think I believe he ultimately lost that court battle. But that would be crucial in swaying it in the Republicans' direction. But I think we should also be honest here. This is all just power politics, and Republicans and Democrats are just trying to justify their power politics. I don't think people are being principled here. Not whether that's good or bad, but I think the ultimate goal that the president has is to keep his majority. He does not want to have to deal with a Democrat-led majority. They would investigate every single thing that he did, and they would likely impeach him. And he does not want his final 2 years of his presidency to be like that.
I think when you look at the facts, Elaad, you'll find that, well, the Republican Party is largely garbage. The right tends to be more on principle. So it is let's just say 80-20 on the right, principle is going to be the guiding force. 80-20 on the left, power is going to be the guiding force. And the example I'll give you right now is, we know that crime is really bad in D.C. I'm actually going to pull up the proof for you in a second. Not so much the proof, but, well, no, we can pull up the crime stats and all that stuff. They're saying crime is way, way down. But when you go
Still the highest murder rate in the country.
It's not the highest.
Well, that's what, not Google,
Detroit, Baltimore, there's high.
As of 2024, District of Columbia has the highest murder rate in the United States with a rate of 27.54 homicides per 100,000 residents. So this is according to
who?
Braves AI or whatever.
Look up per capita murder rate in Baltimore and tell me that's higher than DC.
I'll do Google.
We'll take that one for now. But my point is, right now, in response to what Trump is doing, you've got videos popping up where they're saying crime is not bad. It's like, well, hold on, bro. We live here. I see it all the time. We go there. We go there once or twice a week. I get dinner there, and I can see homeless camps on the sidewalk in the middle of the city. There was a shooting a couple blocks away from the White House. This is crazy.
DuPont Circle, there's been like multiple shootings, haven't there?
Yo, at National Harbor, which is not, it's the DC Metro. It's just south of DC when you're in Maryland. There's a stabbing and a robbery, or a mugging every week or every other week. It's in the news all the time. Yo, at the National Harbor Hotel, some dudes with rifles shot a dude through the gut in the hotel, and the dude fled from the building with blood spraying. And this was a year ago. And this is the DC Metro in what is supposed to be a very nice area, very close to the airport, to DCA. This stuff happens all the time. Fine, make the argument, but it's down. It's still ridiculously high. Give me the context. If the liberals came out and said, okay, to be fair, crime is really bad. It's going down, though. So if they wanted to make the argument that Trump shouldn't do it because crime is on the decline, so he doesn't need it right now, it's working, I'd say, okay, I still think Trump doing this isn't, that's an argument. I get it. I would just argue that Trump is doing the right thing by going faster. But they're not arguing that. They're arguing crime is at the lowest point in 30 years. So my point is, call it power politics. But when you take a look at this right now, Trump says, we have the DOJ issuing the grand jury probe against the Obamagate stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
As they should, because we know at the bare minimum there's probable cause that a crime was committed, and we want a grand jury to determine whether or not charges should be brought. Their argument, the Democrats, is that Trump is getting revenge against the people who tried to hold him accountable. But we know the criminal charge, like Letitia James, for instance, they're probing her. What did they do? A grand jury investigation against her or something like that? No, she was subpoenaed. I can't remember.
Something about mortgage fraud.
Yep.
No. So there's something recently last week. I was out because I had strained my vocal cords. That's what happened. You can hear me. I'm a little raspy. But anyway, my point is, Letitia James is crooked. Like the felony charges brought against Trump were crooked. The civil fraud charges brought against Trump were crooked. We know that. So the DOJ says we're going to go after the corrupt, and the Democrats respond with, he's weaponizing the DOJ against us. No, he's using the DOJ as it's intended to be used to stop corruption from you. So I get your point. We're saying it's just power politics, but if you actually break the facts down, Trump's right. It's crazy that this has been the case for 10 years. Don't care if you like Trump. Don't care if you like Trump's policies. The Democrats arrested his lawyers, made false charges against them. You want to sit there and say J6 was bad and Trump did it? Okay, I won't even argue that. The felony charges on the documents being altered case, fake, beyond the statute of limitations, could not be brought. They brought it anyway. The rape charges, they created a special law just to go after Trump for this on a 30-year-old claim with no real evidence. And then you had the civil fraud where the bank said he never defrauded us. He actually gave us the documents and told us, not to mention it wasn't Trump himself. It's crazy. Trump runs a company. His staff goes to these banks and says, here's the numbers we believe to be correct. One of the papers in those documents says, do your own due diligence. We may have got some of this information wrong. They said, we will. They came back and said, hey, you got the square footage wrong on this building. And they went, oops. And they said, we're going to lower the loan amount because of that. And they said, okay. And they said, handshake. Everybody made money, was happy. And then he got sued by the state for civil fraud. It's fake. It's all fake. What do we expect to happen? The DOJ should go after the corrupt, but they're going to come out and say, nope, Trump's weaponizing the DOJ against them. They're evil. That's just it.
And that's why a lot of the people who argue that it's politically motivated have no credibility because they were behind politically motivated attacks for so long. Schiff's a prime example of this with how much he perpetrated the Russia collusion hoax.
No one should care what any Democrats say. If you're on the right, just ignore them. They're going to make stuff up. They're going to say whatever they can say to get their base fired up. They don't have significant political power right now. Steamroll them. They don't matter. They're going to complain no matter what he does. So just continue with the policies that you were elected to institute.
And
Steamroll them.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.